let's get going then.
Alright.
So, alright, so I'm Drunkle Titus. This is going to be Pokemon Red Blue, any percent no save corruption. So I'm going to be running the old route for this, which is like a few minutes slower than the current route, but it's also like much easier. And I still like for the new route, I'm having like a few trouble with some of the manips, and I think the glitches in this route are a lot more interesting and fun to watch. So I think it'll be a lot more entertaining overall. So I'm going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright.
Alright, so this category is pretty cool. It's basically just beating the game as fast as possible, except you can't use safe corruption, which is a trick in Gen 1 that lets you beat the game with an in-game time of 0 hours and 0 minutes. And it was deemed like not very competitive or fun or interesting or anything like that. So people this is the mainly run any percent category. So I'm gonna start by picking up the PC potion here, for a few reasons. One, because I don't 100% have to win this fight, but I would really prefer if I did, because I need to reach level 8 by the time I get to Brock, and you get a level up after you beat your rival. So I'll just walk in the grass, talk to Oak here. So I've done a decent number of runs with both this route and the current route, and to give like an idea of how much time the current route saves, my PB for this route is 20 minutes and 15 seconds, and my PB with the current route is 13 minutes and 42 seconds, which is just about 2 minutes off world record. So it saves like a decent amount of time. So I'm going to start by picking Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur sucks. He's terrible. But he's the best for any percent NSC. So, and I'm giving all Pokemon and characters one character names, because all the text scrolls, so it takes a little less time to type out, and it adds up a good amount by the end of the run. So we're going into the rival fight. Ideally, I'd like to see scratches at the start of this, because if I get growled turn 1, then I'm just gonna be doing less damage than I want to do. So I want this to go fast. I got the growl there. At least turn 1 was scratch though. This is great. Charmander, it's really likes trolling me. I mean, it's good that I'm not taking damage, because that would mean it's one less potion I have to pick up later. But I also want this fight to go a little faster. So now I'm doing like an extremely low amount of damage. Although if I do get a critical hit, it ignores stat changes, so I would be doing the critical like as if you don't take any damage. And I just got Growl and Miss there. So in Generation 1, there's I believe 25% chance that any special move used by the opponent can just fail. I got a heal there, I'm at 1 HP. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm doing like so little damage right now. This should only take 1 or 2, well, unless I miss a tackle. Should take like 1 or 2 more hits. Yeah, 1 more hit. And we're through. Sweet. Alright, so that's the rival fight. It's one of the hardest fights in the run, because it's only one of like 2 fights in the run. It's pretty good.
And tackle's only 95% to hit, and that 5% tends to happen at the worst times.
Yeah, like it's pretty annoying when it does. Like I remember watching, was it the any percent glitchless red race? I didn't see my special when I leveled up. Whatever, I'll just go for PP strats then. It's fine. So I'm gonna try to reach level 7 before I go to the woods, for a couple of reasons. One, it'll take 2 fewer turns to kill the Weedle, and also because I need to be managing my move PP extremely carefully. By the time I reach Pewter City, I want to have, well, I want to be level 8, and I need to hit level 7 first, and so I can get Leech Seed. And I also need Tackle to have 17 PP, oh, not 17, 16 PP, and Growl needs to have 36. And that just makes Brock go a little easier. So I'm just going to kill these encounters, and the encounters coming up, well, if I get any more encounters, I'm going to either run away or I'll just tackle it once or twice.
Setting up those PP conditions is how we're going
I
to
just
start
saw,
breaking the game.
I just saw 14 specials, so I'm glad I didn't go for PP strats. I mean for Pidgey strats. That would have just been like no fun. Alright, so I gotta get the Oaks parcel here so I can move that old man in Viridian. And now we're just heading back down Route 1. Alright. What else is there to talk about this run? Oh, yeah, I was talking about like tackle earlier. I was saying that like in the red glitchless race, I think like, oh shit. Alright, we're good. But in the red glitchless race, someone, I think it was like Keys around, got tackle miss like twice in the rival fight. It's pretty
Could worse
reliable
happen.
move. Yeah, I'm just gonna tackle there. Let's do like,
Uneven.
no, just one tackle. It doesn't really matter. I just need to burn move PP by the time I get to Viridian. So.
That RNG giving you an encounter on the last possible tile.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Also, I'm talking to Professor Oak from the side here. It seems a little weird because I have to move fewer tiles, but as you saw, my rival just walked in, and he walks like half the speed I do. He's a really cool guy. So, he walks super slow, so it's actually faster for you to walk more tiles than for him to do it. So we just do that because it shifts the screen up a little bit, and there's fewer tiles that he needs to walk. So it ends up saving around like half a second or something to talk to Oak from the side. You can do it from the back too, but I prefer the side.
Gives from either the back or the side is the duration of one step.
Yeah. Alright, so back up Route 1. And then we're gonna head to Viridian Forest. So I'm gonna pick up a couple potions on my way, because for a few reasons. One, because I'm going to need to heal before the Weedle, because that fight's a little too dangerous to be going at it with the health that I'm at now. And also because I'm gonna need 6 items in my bag for something coming up later. I'll leave it a surprise, a little bit of mystery. Also, I figured I should mention this now. If you want to donate for my donation incentive, soft lock %, go right ahead and do that. It's pretty cool. It's just making the game unplayable as fast as possible. I think it's pretty fun. Alright, so I pick up that antidote later, not because like of the Weedle fight, but because again I need 6 items. And it's just right in your way, so it's pretty convenient to get it. Also, I'm taking a really weird path through the forest. If you notice some of the tiles that I'm walking across right now, some of them have like a flower in the bottom right corner. Those tiles are incapable of generating encounters because in the Japanese version, I think it's like the bottom left tile, like sub-tile of those tiles was used to determine what can generate encounters or not. And so they didn't put any flowers in those, but they did put flowers in, I'm gonna heal now, in the bottom right on some of them. And then for some reason when they localized it, they switched the tile detection to like bottom right. So I gotta swap some moves around. Oh, oops, that was weird. So they switched it to bottom right, so any tile that has a flower in the bottom right, it just doesn't register it as something that can give you encounters, so it just doesn't give any.
Yeah.
Alright, so this Weedle fight, I really prefer to see String Shot because the Weedle already outspeeds me, so it doesn't really do anything. But one good thing about this fight is that since Bulbasaur is half poison, I cannot get poisoned by this Weedle. It's a really weird mechanic. That was a nice crit. I'm just gonna growl because I need to get rid of growls. And I'm in no danger of dying. I'll just tackle, finish it off. So I'm gonna need to look for another encounter. But that's fine. If I can get a Metapod before the end of the forest, that would actually be ideal.
About the encounter subtile mechanics, rate is based on the lower right subtile, the encounter list is based on the lower left subtile, and this is why Cinnabar Coast Surfing works.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually, so that's interesting to know. Because I knew there was the thing with Cinnabar Coasts where it would like use land tile detection or something to figure out what encounters you were gonna get. Alright, killing that's fine because I'm not gonna move past level 8. I need to be at level 8. Actually, why am I doing that? The encounter rate is very low in Viridian Forest. It's like 1 in 32 per step to get an encounter. So it's a lot easier if I look here, where I think the encounter rate's a little higher. Or maybe I don't get an encounter. There we go.
The forest encounter rate is much higher in yellow.
It's like 6 times higher, right?
Doesn't have the
flower patches either.
The encounter free tile mechanic, to many runners' dismay.
Yeah, so it makes Viridian Forest a lot more annoying in yellow. Alright, so we are all set now. Alright, so I should still have like a potion and an antidote in my bag, which is nice. So now I'm gonna go shopping real quick. I need a Pokeball.
This shopping trip is all that stands between us and breaking the game.
Yep. Alright, so now we're gonna do the Brock fight, also known as the first skip in the game, Brock skip. So what happens here is when you go past this guy, he leads you into his little guide to bring you to Brock's gym, and it disables your D-pad, so you like can't move around and stuff, but you still can pull up the menu. So if you set your cursor over save before you go past him, you can just bring up the save menu, and then if you just hold right here, you can go past him. Additionally, if you flash your Pokemon menu and have your PP set up like I do, if you talk to him from the right, you can just go past him and walk through walls, which is pretty neat. Shit. Alright, I was not supposed to take a step up that early, so I'll have to do it again. But if you want to explain how that works.
Alright, is known as Brock Through Walls, and the way that this works is that talk to that person. For the following sequence, the game is trying to find your coordinates in a table with pointers to for how you move in order to follow him, so that he can lead you to Brock's gym. You're never supposed to be able to be directly to the right of him for that, so there is no data for that, but the game continues to search through memory for those coordinates, the same alignment they are in the table. So by doing that PP setup, we cause there to be coordinates in memory with the correct alignment, and the pointer to the movement data overflows the buffer for the movement data and pass it into onto other parts of RAM, including control of, including which buttons are, and whether you are colliding with walls.
Yeah, so basically you're like being guided around, but for some reason you're still able to move around. So since you're still in like the guiding state, you can just go through things. It's pretty interesting how it works. Alright, so I made it to Saffron and I saved there so I can set it as my hub. In Gen 1 you have to use a Pokemon Center for it'll be set as your hub, so if I like escape rope or teleport back, then I will go back to Saffron. And it's also nice that the guards there just let me go through, because instead of the way it's programmed is that instead of just sending you back the way you came, they make the assumption that you cannot be coming from Saffron because you haven't given a drink to the guards. So it just sends you right back out to Celadon, which is incredibly convenient for the run. So I'm getting the coin case. No, shit, I pressed A again. I'm getting the coin case again because we're going to be getting an Abra here. That was weird. I pressed left and it didn't move. Yeah, we're going to be getting an Abra to do another trick in the run. So I'm going to do some gambling here. The slots are completely RNG, but we got some nice RNG manipulation right here. Easy peasy, best gambling of my life. Alright, so I have 120 coins, which is exactly the number I need to get Abra. So I'm going to do that. Oh shit, those two characters. I don't know, whatever. It's wasting a little bit of time. Why am I moving? Yeah. So I'm going to teleport back to Saffron now.
How the pre-manip routes for both Gen 1 and Gen 2 any percent use the coin case, but for radically different purposes.
Oh yeah, Gen 2, it's like you listen to a Pokemon cry, and then like, I don't know, then somehow it like removes everything from your party. So I forgot I need to do a little item switcheroo here. And I'm going to teleport away. And this guy's going to notice me, but there's nothing you can do about it. So, sucks to be you, guy. So, we're going to go to the fighting dojo, and we're going to fight some guys. I mean, I'm psychic, so I should be fine. Because type advantage is like all that matters, so I should be able to just like sweep this place, level up my Abra, you know? So we're going to go in here, and we're going to fight this first guy. Alright. So this fight...
way
Oh, go ahead.
Trainer Fly works, going to the left there so that the black belt takes at least one step is required. Otherwise, you soft lock.
I forgot to deposit Bulbasaur. But it doesn't matter because I'm dead. So I'll just deposit him after this. But that's like a turn slower than I wanted because I forgot to deposit my starter before I did Trainer Fly. But it should be fine because I still got swept. So I'm going to go back to the route and a menu is going to pop up, and if I close it, it generates a random encounter with Missing No. And I'm just going to run from him real quick. I'm going to go back here and deposit my Bulbasaur, which I should have done earlier, but that's fine.
It was Missing No because of the Machop's special stat.
Yeah, so it when you go back there, it tries to generate an encounter because it still has you in a battle state on that route. So it tries to generate an encounter based on the special stat of the last Pokemon you fought, and Machop has 31 special, which corresponds to Missing No. And Missing No is a very interesting property where the getting seen flag for it is like really weird, where it's not really like a thing, so you're not supposed to see it. So instead it sets the highest bit of the 6th item in your bag to 1, which means the 6th item in your bag gets 128 items added to it. which is very convenient because we're going to want to get a stack of 255 items for the last trick in the run. So we're going to go do that again. And I had to toss 2 Pokeballs there because it only duplicates if you have less than 128 items, because otherwise it would go like over the max amount of space allowed. So I had to toss a few things. So after we do this glitch again, we will end up with 255 Pokeballs. Alright, so I'm just gonna mash A until I lose. It's all you can really do. I've gotten trolled here like a lot, where I've gotten like 4 Leers, and he uses like an X attack or something. It's really annoying. Also, I pull up my menu here, because I guess it like loads the data or something. Like if you don't do that, if you come back here, you get an encounter with a lass, and I don't know why it happens.
It's because the text event that happens when you step back onto the route is the one with the same ID as the last one that you invoked.
Gotcha. Alright, I'm gonna do a safety save here, just in case I mess something up. So, now we're gonna move some items around to do what's called the item underflow glitch. And what that means is 200. Well, I think you can explain it while I'm doing this, so I don't mess up.
Alright, when an item completely goes away from you tossing it or having it removed, the game has to move,
I think
what, up.
This is good, yeah. Yeah, alright. So, now I have 0 Pokeballs, and I've tricked the bag into thinking I have -1 items, and you can't do that, so it underflows, which means I have access to items of memory that I should not be allowed to have, and this corresponds with different data in the game. Toss 11, I believe. Yeah, that looks about right.
Yep.
Swap with Master Balls, and I basically changed the northern map connection there from Saffron to the Hall of Fame. So now this is the end of the run. So time is going to be after Oak rates my Pokedex and the screen fades to white. So I'll say time when it happens. So yeah, you underflow your bag and you gain access to different amounts of memory, which can be like map connections, building locations, stuff like that, and time. So you have a lot of information that you can just mess around and achieve some pretty interesting results. So what I did there is like the entire portion of this run would be the beginning of like the reverse badge acquisition route or the 151 glitched run, where you set up underflow and you can do it do some crazy stuff with the game. But yeah, so what was my time?
Your time was a 22:03.
Yeah, this run wasn't like the best, but showed off what I wanted to, so that's not bad. And with the current route, it's like 10 minutes faster, so that's how much that saves. But I think like a lot of the stuff in this route is really interesting, and like it's a lot easier too. So that's why I learned it when I was just picking up the game. But so yeah, that's red blue any percent of save corruption. That's pretty much it.
Alright, thank you, Drunkle Titus, for Pokemon. Up next, we have Kirby and the Rainbow Curse with Lori D. Bunnykins.
Alright.